Well,
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. You have to know it.
All right, we're ready. We're a day late, but thank you very much for joining us here. It's our Thursday Ravori Sports podcast. So usually we're here on Wednesday night, but we're here a day late here, a little bit earlier than usual. But I put the notice out. Hopefully, those of you that have been watching, keep watching. Definitely like and subscribe to all of our social media content. And I see some people are coming in here now. So thank all of you for joining us here for the Ravori Sports podcast here during the Ravens bye week here. So let's get started here. Maryland's men's basketball preview is coming up in about 10 days. So definitely we're getting that ready for you. We're going to talk Maryland's basketball here. Maryland Terps starting in the beginning of November. I can't ever remember feeling like this before Maryland season. Everything is new. There's a whole new team. There's nothing coming back from last year. It's the success that they had the Sweet 16. Whenever the coach is gone, all the players are gone. A brand new coach who comes in, who was in the tournament last year. So unbelievable stuff going on at Maryland. We'll definitely cover that because there's a lot to cover there with the Terps as well. Also, too, with this, Genesis Notary Services in Winchester, Virginia. So I want to thank all of you in the Shenandoah Valley area. This also goes out to you, those of you Harrisonburg area, Newmarket, Manassas, all of you. We can go ahead and still help you out, though, as well. Doing more now lately, the mortgage signings as well. So focused on that as well. Also, too, general notary work is still there for us. So we want to thank everybody that's called and everything with the mortgage, with the notary business as well. So we appreciate all of you that have checked that out as well. Also, to get that back there. Also, to check it out as well. See Charles Harris. We are Legal Shield. Legal Shield is a great resource for a lot of people, especially you small business owners. Definitely get Legal Shield. Right now, what I'm seeing is just it's Sue City, like out here in the world. Everybody's suing and get legal protection. Okay, get legal protection. Definitely, you get Legal Shield that can help you access to a lawyer that will save you a lot of money compared to actually going to a law office as well. Definitely save you a lot of money. We got a great rate for you with that. And the flagship Ravori Sports .company.site is the flagship. So definitely check that out as well. Definitely Orioles, Ravens, jerseys as well. We also have links with Fanatics. And check that out. Oh, no. That's next week. So this is what happened, obviously. We're going to talk about the Sunday game, Rams and the Ravens. 1-5, I expected that. The result, 17-3, expected that. Still, the Ravens, I think, without Lamar Jackson, without too many guys, I think, to beat a good team like the Rams. Although I would say, unlike the Houston, Texas game, I think the Ravens could have won this game if you would have had Lamar Jackson. Defense looked much, much, much better. They were a little bit healthier. I think Gilman is going to be a good addition. It's going to free up Kyle Hamilton as well, along with Malachi Starks, bring him along. So there was some good things to see on there, but the result was still the same. They just didn't score any points. Stafford, I think, was legitimately in the MVP conversation. 17 for 26, 181, 1 TD. I thought Stafford was okay, I think, in this one as well. Stafford, again, even when Stafford has a day like this where he's not Superman or whatever, he still gets those big chunk plays down the field, put the ball in the end zone. He did that on 2 separate drives, and that was the ball game. I think that was the only difference on the offensive side. They stopped the run fairly well, too. I thought Kyron Williams, he's a guy who can go for 115, 120 yards. He was pretty much I don't know about completely shut down is inaccurate, but he didn't have as big a day as some people might think. He had like 13 carries, 50 yards, 1 TD. So not as big a day for Kyron Williams as well. But I thought, again, Ravens, I thought defense did a good job. The run defense looked much, much better. I thought it was even more than the pass defense as well. They kind of stayed in home, stayed disciplined more. Even John Jackson, I thought that was by far his best game I've seen him have here as well. The receiving core, there was a couple drops I thought in this one by Devontae Adams that should have been catches. He was like targeted like 9 times, but I thought it could have been worse, I think, had it been so drops. Puka Nacua went out of the game after having a decent first half as well. Tyler Higbee did most of the damage. He had the TC. He had one of the TD catches from Matt Stafford. 4 receptions, 40 yards, 1 TD. I thought I thought Higbee was decent enough in this game as well. The pass rush wasn't fantastic. I thought just the line play again. Just the Ravens on offense, as bad as the defense has been, in a way, I'm actually more concerned about the O-line because the O-line just I don't see that one getting better as much unless you actually change personnel, which it could be doing with that, but we'll see. But the defense, I think, is going to get better. But I thought the offensive line was just bad in this game. Rush wasn't any good either as well. Byron Young got 2 sacks. They don't seem to have great pass rush, or they don't seem to emphasize pass rush. Every time I see the Rams, I'm kind of thinking that as well. That they don't really go crazy with the blitz as well. They get to hear sacks like coverage sacks. A lot of these sacks I thought were like coverage sacks. Byron Young had their best day along those lines. Cooper Rush was benched in this game as well. 11 for 19, 72 yards, one interception as well. Tyler Huntley did come in 10 for 15, 68 yards. Had a really big run play in this one. 3 carries for 39 yards. Harbaugh had the nerve to say, "Well, this was the plan all along." Just stop saying that. Just stop. That's ridiculous. It certainly wasn't the plan for you to play Cooper Rush in this football game. To play Tyler Huntley in this football game. You were going to play Cooper Rush. Cooper Rush just didn't play well. I mean, he just doesn't seem to fit this offense as well. And that was kind of the concern. I think Cooper Rush is actually better than what we've seen, but the personnel is designed for Lamar and not him. This is why Huntley comes in and people think that Huntley looks better. At least Huntley struggles, I think, throwing the ball and holding onto the ball too long. You get negative plays. But I think with Huntley, you're at least getting run plays. Like, at least you're getting the threat of the run. You're at least getting some of those things. So I think that is something that they're getting here as well. Derrick Henry, I thought, was good in this game. I thought this was the first time the Ravens ever lost with Derrick Henry getting 20-plus carries, 24 carries, 112. I thought he was fine. I thought, like, you could. I actually, if anything, it was a price tag you worry a little bit less about Henry as well. Even with the good run day he had, they just couldn't throw the ball at all. He could have even had better, but they couldn't. I mean, there was nothing going on in the air. Zay Flowers had the most yardage. I mean, 6 receptions, 46 yards. Makes people miss. First time in his career, he had 2 fumbles in this game, 2 turnovers as well. I'm not going to worry too much about that. He was a little banged up coming into the game as well. I think Zay will be fine. I'm not worried about it, but definitely, too, it definitely was costly, the 2 fumbles that he had in this one as well. 2 inside linebackers. Interesting to see who gets most of the snaps once Roquan Smith is fully healthy, back in action. 9 tackles for Trent Simpson as well, who has shown improvement, I think. As well. But Teddy Buchanan, I think he's leading the team in tackles. I think he's got like 49 total. He had 9 in this game, getting those for a line of scrimmage. Impressive. I think like that's definitely a thing with that. So definitely there it is there. I think this was expected. The Ravens are going to have, and when they come out of the bye week, they are going to have their work cut out for them because they are going to be facing a Bears team when they get back off the bye. That is, I think, better than we think. And now you have no more margin for error. Pittsburgh is 4-1. They are leading the division. You do have bad teams in your division right now. You got right now the two 40-year-old quarterbacks who are going to play tonight, Joe Flacco and Aaron Rodgers. That's about the thing. But like John Madden said, you can do all that stuff I just did. Sometimes you got to start winning some games. So I do expect them to win more games because this hasn't been the team. I think defense will be better. They got to fix the offensive line. That's the one area I'm talking about. I was just posting tonight. Kevin Zeitler could be on the move because they fired Coach Brian Callahan in Tennessee. And they were maybe moving some pieces, doing some selling because, their season's over. They're going to have an interim coach the whole rest of the year. So there you go. Ravens this week as well have a bye week. We're going to go over the Bears game next week as well. It's time. No more time. No more time for excuses. No more time to be waiting around. No more time for anything. You're 1-5. It's surprising the little bit of heat they're getting, considering the fact that you are 1-5 and you are not getting real low. I mean, the coach just got fired in Tennessee for being 1-5. So we'll see about that as well.
Okay.
All right. Let's move to Big Five this week here. 5 big Baltimore Raven games. And this week, they're all not Baltimore Raven games, with the Ravens on a bye week as well. So definitely we're going to go over that as well. Big Five last week, the games. Detroit, Kansas City, I thought was a fantastic game. Kansas City is better than we think. I think the Chefs are a little better than what we think. Mahomes has been good, really good the last 2 weeks, even in the loss to Jacksonville. Mahomes has really been good the last 2 weeks. Detroit defense I don't think it was great in this game as well. But I think some people are being a little hyperbolic. Best team in the league. I'm not going that far. That's a little bit much. But I do think KC might be better than what we think as well, because they were good against Kansas City. They were good against Detroit. Detroit is really good. Buffalo and Atlanta. Buffalo, I think I will say this about them. They need Josh Allen to be good all the time, and he just wasn't as good as well. The Atlanta defense is ranked first in the NFL. So I think they're better than we think. They were really good, I think, as well as maintaining him as well. Penix, I'm still not sure he's a great quarterback, but they're getting by. And one thing he does have is Drake London, who is really just growing right before us. He was fantastic. I mean, he was really giving the Blues to the Buffalo secondary. The Bears and the almost said Redskins, Commanders, in that game on Monday night. This one was just two to the post at the end. No matter two excellent young quarterbacks playing in this one game. And I just think the Bears just look like they wanted the game more. I think they really remember that they lost that close game last year. They made just a little bit fewer mistakes. And that fumble late in the game in the fourth quarter was huge from the Commanders. And I think that was pretty much the ball game as well. It had the feel of two, I don't want to go as far as say Manning and Brady early on, but I think this isn't going to be the last time we see these two guys. This could be a big rivalry going forward. Seattle and Jacksonville. Sam Darnold's a legit quarterback, guys. This is 2 straight seasons now where his touchdown to interception ratio, he's got like 11 TDs and 2 interceptions. He's fantastic. He's got a good young receiver, Jackson Swift and Jigba. Cooper Kupp is really helping, and we know they're going to have a good defense with Mike McDonald. I think Mike McDonald is one of the best defensive coaches as well. Jags, just their inconsistency at quarterback kind of just scares me. Some weeks they're good, some weeks they're not. Kyle Shanahan, I think his problem in San Fran is his strength. They did lose to Tampa Bay. The problem with him is he's so good at making anything look good. This is what coaches and GMs and all love a coach who can make any quarterback look good. And clearly he was outmatched here having Mac Jones against Baker Mayfield who I think is probably the most fun guy to watch right now. I mean, probably since Brett Favre as well. Not best quarterback, but best fun guy to watch as well. It's very cool watching Baker Mayfield. Rams and the Jags this week. Rams, I think, they didn't look great in the win against the Ravens. And now they're going over the pond. They're going overseas to play the Jags, who are used to this. So the Jags, I actually like the Jags. The Jags are more used to this. Every year they go play overseas. They volunteered for this as well. And the Rams really did struggle when they had to go across the country to actually play the Ravens. Even though they did win, they actually had to practice in Baltimore this week. They're actually not going back. They have a whole week of this. I think Jags are too good of a team for the Rams to overcome this 2 weeks in a row. So I think 9:30 game, early game as well, not used to traveling. Offense, they may not have Puka Nacua in this game. So I like the Jags in this one as well. Lawrence, got to play well. Though, for them. I always worry about him because he's inconsistent. Colts and Chargers in this game. I said I'll wait till this week to say really anything about the Colts because this is a big game. The Colts have the number 1 seed if this was the NFL playoffs right now. So that obviously it's not. We're still in October. So, but the Colts have been good. I don't think there's any debating that. Daniel Jones has been good. I would say the part of it is they've been beating bad teams, frankly. You beat the Jets, the Raiders, you beat Little Sisters of the Poor. You had 2 good teams. You lost the one game. The one loss, I think, was the Rams, and the other one, I think the win they had against Denver, where it was really close. So I'm tempering the Colts a little bit in terms of that. Chargers, I think, are banged up, so I'm a little concerned about that. Their whole line is really banged up. But they didn't have Alt and a lot of guys, so as well. I'm going to think the Chargers are the better team here because I'm still not yet sold on the Colts. But I could be after this game. But I do think the Chargers are actually the better team here as well. Eagles and the Vikings. I really think the Eagles get right in this one. I do think the Eagles get right in this game. The Vikes lack of quarterback is it shows week after week after week after week. You gotta get away 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever. I don't think they're gonna have JJ McCarthy. I think it'll be Carson Wentz in this game still. Will it be Carson? It could be JJ McCarthy. I kind of heard that he might play. I don't think it will matter. I don't know if McCarthy's better. The Eagles have been it's been really weird on offense, like why they can't get themselves together on offense. That's kind of strange. Why isn't Barkley getting the ball? It's kind of weird. A.J. Brown, kind of they but I don't think the Vikings can take advantage of it. I don't think the Vikings have enough bullets in the gun with these quarterbacks to do it. Although this is going to be tough and physical. I don't think this is going to be a close game. A lot of the Eagles games are close to the vest. I think the Eagles do get right in this one. What used to be, I think, the best rivalry in the National Football League, the Commanders and the Cowboys are going at it on Sunday as well. Prescott, I mean, if you want to say Prescott is the MVP of the league so far, I've got no problem with that. Here's the thing: everybody's saying that their offense is really good, which it is. I mean, even despite the fact they don't have CeeDee Lamb and all that other stuff, that's fine. CeeDee Lamb might be back this week as well. The problem is their defense has been that good. You're giving up way too many points, though. Point totals this season, they've given up 24, 37, 31, 40, 22. That was the Jets who aren't any good, and 30. No, you got to get better on defense. That's why I like the Commanders in this game. The Commanders with Jaden Daniels are going to score 30 points on this offense. And it's just a matter. Now, Prescott has been good. He's been keeping up. But I do think, again, this would be a get-right game for the Commanders as well. Could have won that game Monday, but I think, again, Bears, I think, just had more bounce in their step. They'll have it in this one. They'll want to win this game and solidify themselves as one of the better teams in the NFC as well. Also, too, I think probably the two best teams maybe in the entire NFL, if I was doing power rankings, when you talk about the Bucs and the Lions, I don't know if there are two better teams right now than these two. Mayfield is a legitimate MVP candidate. There's no question about it. I think did the open mic with the guys the other night, and they were all saying that this guy is one. He's certainly fun to watch, even with the injuries to some of his receivers. Without Godwin, without Mike Evans, they may get him back. Mecca, even he was injured as well. They've had some injuries, and this offense has just looked terrific for them. Defensively, I think they have a great coach with Todd Bowles. The Lions did lose. I'm not too worried about the Lions. The Lions just need to get in and stick to the script. They are a team, run the ball, get the lead, drive you down with the offensive line. They stick to the script. I think they win this game against the Bucs. I got to tell you, though, the Bucs have been uber impressive so far. I think the Bucs are right there with the best teams in the NFC. These could be, and again, one more time, the two best teams in the NFL. Been really good. Very impressed with both teams. But I think the Lions actually take this one. There you go. Big. 5 biggest games on the schedule this week. Obviously, no Ravens, so definitely all of you are going to get more of a chance to watch the other games on the schedule this week. So definitely do that. We had one heck of a game, I think, in College Park. That game was one of the cooler watches of a football game as well last 2 weeks. Obviously, the results wasn't what we wanted, but it was fantastic. I thought it was. So 34-31, Nebraska over the Terps in this football game. I thought clearly, like the last 2 weeks, it would have been really nice for the Terps to win, but clearly everybody was getting on Mike Loxley for what he said after the game. These aren't the same old Terps. I totally agree with that. These teams, they're playing teams that in the past would have just been a level up from you, et cetera, and they very easily could have won both of these games, and we could have a whole different conversation as well. Didn't play 4 quarters, so you got to play 4 quarters to go ahead and win the game, but they easily could have won these games. Baby Mahomes, Dylan Raiola. I don't know what to make of him. He's got you could see why they're calling him Baby Mahomes, besides the fact he's wearing number 15 and he's light skinned. He's throwing the ball, the way he throws the ball, a lot of sidearm, a lot of schoolyard, a lot of erraticism, but he throws way more interceptions. Like that was, they won the game in spite of some of these mistakes, but he was consistent at the end. He's one of these guys who, with a lot of confidence, regardless. And there are some guys who can get away with mistakes. We just talking about Brett Favre, who's kind of a guy like that. Even if he wasn't great teams, you still had belief. I think that was it. I don't know how he'll do at the next level, but I was interesting to see how he does as well. Ernest Johnson was just running wild on the Terps as well. So they were definitely, it's a Matt Rule football team, 21-176, run the ball some more. He was just a bowling ball over a really good, I thought, Terps defense here so far. But he had a lot of big runs as well, running inside the tackle. Nothing tricky about it, man. He was just getting his carries and just getting big runs, getting short runs, that's how you do it. John Harbaugh with a bell cow, right? That's exactly right. How you do that. Nazir Hunter, I think, we're looking for him in the game, and he had an excellent game. 5 receptions, 121. I thought, like, again, boomer bust with this quarterback, and Hunter is the guy he seems to look to for the big plays. He was getting him in this one as well. I thought like the Terps secondary was really good in this one overall. Despite the fact they got the ball 3 times, they got his pick 6 of Dylan Raiola. So, but again, they were going for the big plays when they actually did throw the ball, despite all the runs. This guy's going to play in the NFL. Desmond McCullough, he was really giving the guys a hard time as well. He was the pass rush. He was the guy really I was watching during that game that they really had to take 2 guys on, etc. So he had a half of a sack and a half. Always look for a guy that's dominant when you scheme to take a guy out and you can't take him out. Like, he still runs wild on you. He still has a big day on you as well. So that's interesting there as well. Terps, Malik Washington. This guy is going to be phenomenal, I think, as well. We see him so far. The thing you like about Malik Washington is the poise that he is showing as well. So he's a true freshman. So what you would think is, okay, he's out of his depth. Something's wrong here. He's not. No, he's very calm, has a big day, had a couple of mistakes as well. But otherwise, I thought he was pretty solid. So I thought very impressed with Malik Washington overall. If anything, they got to help him more. Nolan Ray was a little bit better in this game. I thought when I was watching, they seemed to be more committed to the run at least, which is good in my opinion, because you gotta. It seems like in some games they almost like forget to run. Certain teams, they seem like they forget the run game. They really showed an effort, I thought, to really run the ball. It really wasn't as good as you hope, considering the bigger commitment, but 11 carries, 62 yards. Even Malik Washington had some runs, so that was interesting. Shalika Knox, 5 receptions. I think he's been their best receiver this season. The one getting the big plays as well. Decent receiving core. We thought it might be Octavian Smith. About halfway through, Knox right now, I think he's the go-to guy for the quarterback, Malik Washington as well. Dante Joyner had a pick 6 in this one game. We talked about it against Dylan Raiola. I thought it was really great as well. So Raiola, this secondary is really good. The secondary they have is really good as well. So they really are a strong secondary as well. So Huskers win. So the Maryland Terps, that's their second loss here this week. The Terps are going out to the West Coast. 7:00 game against the Bruins of UCLA. So they're going to play. I don't remember the Terps ever playing actually in the Rose Bowl, or ever playing a game at UCLA. So this is out of Big Ten. It has all 3 time zones. You got an East Coast team going all the way out west. Game is going to be at 7:00 as well. I would think the Terps are going to win this game, although UCLA has been showing fight. So they lost all those games, and they've won their last 2. I think even him contributed to James Franklin getting fired this week because they were 0-4, and they won their first game, and they won last week. So they've been fighting pretty good. So we will see. I do also like the game is at 7:00, so you're not playing an early game. You're going out West Coast. They travel. They're not going to be jet lagged, et cetera. They're not just playing at 3:00 out there, just having to travel all the way across country. So definitely check out the Terps this week and see if we can get that squared away. First Take has made its selection that Shay Cornett is going to be the new host of First Take as well. Apparently she's been on Sports Center as well. So Molly Karam is now no more with that. So they hired a permanent host. That was actually quicker than I thought it was. They kind of framed it as if that they were gonna for a long time strike Sal, etc. Obviously, you've had guest hosts there, but yeah. So there it is, right there. Shea Cornett is actually going to replace Molly Karam on First Take. Interesting to see what happened. Molly, that whole situation. I think Molly. It's hard to tell people like me out here, or most of you watching or whatever, to say $500,000 or $450,000 is a lot of money. But I kind of get what he is saying when you go ahead and give the other guy on the show.
I like it. He makes me quite so mad as having started stolen out women. Tell him. He didn't tell me that. Well, now, we weren't sure we'd have to. That sounded almost like an accusation, Jim. Let's put it this way. Seems kind of funny you ain't got any hands around. Bunkhouse is empty as your corrals. I give my hands time off, don't you? How about that? If Joe's still out of you, you can always come on with me.
All right, thank you. All right, so again, First Take. Yeah, so again, it'll be interesting to see. They need that to be successful, all the money they're paying Stephen A. Smith. Like, that's a lot of money that's justifying to pay him. And I think that was part of it, why they wouldn't pay Molly as well. What he's trying to do, and this is alleged, I haven't talked to them, obviously, is lower the rest of the cost. He's been doing that for a while. That's why he didn't want Max there, because Max would get a salary similar to his. He kind of runs Max off, and then so he can go ahead and bring in Mad Dog and people part-time, and they pay him less money, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of the same thing happened with Molly. Shea Cornett, you could pay her $100,000 or whatever it is, lower the cost, and then so he can gobble up more money. Shannon Sharp, he made sure he wasn't there, but except so. That's what's going on there as well. One other thing as well, and we've been making let's see. Talking about FS1 and sports media here. Wake Up Barstool. So that's the show going against Get Up on ESPN. All right, there you go. So that's the show going against Get Up on ESPN. Wake Up Barstool, FS1, $12,000 in viewership for Tuesday's show. They've only cracked the 10,000 mark once. I'm surprised they haven't pulled the plug on that, considering that's really bad as well. And I know the digital footprint is kind of the excuse people keep saying that, okay, well, the digital footprint, blah, blah, blah. And again, one more time, they didn't bring in Pardon My Take as well. That would have made more sense if you'd have brought in a show with an existing show. That's the difference between when you bring in a Pat McAfee, who's already bringing in a podcast, you're already bringing in an audience as well. You did a show, a new show, and this is getting killed. Morning shows takes a while, as quiet as it's kept. That's why the Today Show has been on for 5,000 years. People have been watching it their entire lives. People have been getting it with the Today Show. I mean, you could go back to the names, Brian Gumbel, Katie Couric, Matt Lauer, all that other stuff, et cetera, blah, 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 blah. Even now. So it's hard to break in because there's a lot of money in that morning spot. With all the changes in media, people still get up in the morning and do it. But they did make a mistake, I think, that doing a new show like this, rotating, it's just been a real mess. I don't know how much longer you can keep doing it because you can't make money doing that. You can't. If I would not advertise, if I was spending money advertising on that, that's not going to work. And TV ratings are different now. I've heard a lot of arguments for that. I understand that, but that doesn't work. Nobody's watching. So interesting to go there as well. MLB playoffs. So MLB playoffs are going on right now. Let's take this opportunity. We're going to go over both series as well. We got a game tonight. Blue Jays and the Mariners as well. So the Blue Jays actually last night did break through, got their first win as well in the series as well. We're going to talk a little bit about the previous series. Tigers and the Mariners. How did they get here? So Tigers and Mariners, excellent series. Excellent series. Mariners went ahead and survived. It's interesting to see this version of the Mariners because we're so used to in recent years seeing the Mariners be a team that was, man, we got good pitching. We got good starting pitching. We're going to go ahead and we're going to win these games 3-2, 2-1, etc. It's fascinating to see a team where the strategy is to go ahead and bludgeon you to death, like with all these home runs as well. Tigers, I think they're a little bit away. They're not that far away. If they can keep Skubal, they should have success for years and years, especially in that division. So they actually did go ahead and make it back. So good for the Tigers actually getting around. Like even after they almost blew it with the bad finish, they were able to get out of the open round. So good for them. Blue Jays and Yankees. Yankees, their flaws showed up more this year. And with Judge, basically is He-Man and Fried, I thought was a good starting pitching. They have a few more good starting pitchers, but they didn't have enough of a team. They have too many flaws in other places. Defense wasn't great last year. I think it was worse. Pitching, bullpen struggles, etc. Offense, guys injured, they're supposed to help, etc., etc. So they weren't a complete enough team. The Blue Jays are a complete team as well. They have all the components. Now, I don't know if the Blue Jays have the sustained success that the Yankees are going to have, but certainly this year, Blue Jays certainly winning that series is so much better. In this series, it's just been all about the pitching here. As well. Who's getting the good pitching starts? As well, Mariners did in the first two games. That's why they won. Blue Jays did in game 3. I think like these offenses are very, very good in spite of that. Springer, Bichette, Vladdy on one side. Cal Raleigh, I think, could be solidifying the MVP as well. I do like the Blue Jays still, especially since they won last night. I think they can go ahead and overcome this and win the series. I do think they have the better team as well. National League, Brewers and the Dodgers. Brewers, I think, are a fascinating story because Craig Counsell leaving them and going to Chicago to go ahead and win a World Series because he didn't feel like he can win one in Milwaukee, and all Milwaukee has done is actually outperform the Cubs both years. Good job. Outstanding. Pat Murphy's done a great job as well, eliminating that had to feel great to just go ahead and eliminate the Cubs in this series. A complete team built, I think, through the draft. Best record in the league. They were the wire to wire. They had the best record in all of baseball as well. So good work over the Cubs actually getting that taken care of. Cubs, they're kind of in the Yankees category. They probably aren't going to be able to keep Kyle Tucker going forward. From everything I'm seeing, we're going to go over free agency here, especially with the Orioles here in a second. But they aren't going to be able to keep Kyle Tucker. They just seem offensively to just be parts and not a whole sum that was that TrueNet series, and it was true all season with the Cubs as opposed to the Brewers, where the Brewers were just a humming machine as well. It's interesting with Counsell. All those years he can kind of make it work with a little bit, on the margins, but now he's got more resources, and they just don't look as well. They also don't have a real true ace in Chicago either. They just looked okay as well. So interesting to see what happens there. But that's fascinating stuff. Dodgers in this series over the Phillies. It's a shame that both of those two teams even had to be in that round, Dodgers and the Phillies. I think the Phillies are what they are. I think it could be the end of the line for them. We'll see what happens in the offseason. But they're getting a little long in the tooth, as good as they were. Schwarber's a free agent. Raul Muto's a free agent. Nola wasn't the same. Wheeler went out with an injury. They did have Suarez. I mean, they did have a lot going for them. Trey Turner had a good finish. We'll see if they can keep this rolling, because they could be the end of the line as good as it was. The Dodgers are what the Dodgers are. The Dodgers, I mean, the only thing that's going to sink the battleship for them is if they can't get this relief pitching right, which has been terrible. Even in this series, even in the playoff series with the Phillies, it wasn't good then. So they can get pitching right. They will be fine. They will not sink the battleship. That's the biggest concern with them as well. In this series, Dodgers and the Brewers as well. They are leading this series 2-0 right now. They're going at it in the fifth, 1-1. It's hard not to take the Dodgers as well. There's just so much talent. I mean, Snell in that first game, terrific. They haven't even been using parts of the season. Ohtani on the mound, and Kershaw had to kind of. I mean, there's just so many good players on that offense as well. Betts, Ohtani, Freeman, etc. Hernandez. There's a lot there. As good as the Brewers have been, they're just running into a juggernaut. If they don't get the only hope, you got to keep with the Dodgers. You got to keep these games close late. They horse race you early, and it's not going to work. So 1-1, I do like the Dodgers in this series. I think the Dodgers roster is much better than any other team in baseball. So there you go. Playoffs. Next week, we're going to be talking about LCS League Championship Series. The two winners of the series, Mariners and the Blue Jays, and the we're talking about the LCS, obviously. World Series, right? So the winners of the LCS, Mariners and the Blue Jays, and the Dodgers and the Brewers are going to be in the 2025 World Series, the last of the big events of the year in the three major sports. All right. Let's talk Orioles. Talk Orioles free agency. Let's go ahead and get that popping, cracking, lacking. While before we get to that, definitely all of you out there, share the video right now. All of you watching, I see the number there in the corner watching. Most of you watching on our X feed, watching on our Kick feed, watching on our Twitch feed, watching on YouTube right now. Definitely right now, share the video. If you want somebody to get Orioles and Ravens content all year long, every week of the year, we talk Orioles and Ravens. We're going to do that here at Ravori Sports as well. And I just want to thank all of you. We're almost at 800 people now on Twitter following us. That's fantastic. Keep doing that as well. We're trying to strive for all of our platforms in triple digits in terms of followers by the end of 2025. That would be awesome. So if you guys out there, share the video as well. Anybody who's a fan of the Orioles or the Ravens or the Maryland Terps or sports in general, whatever, definitely chop it up here with that. And what are we talking about? Orioles free agency. So the Baltimore Orioles have free agents coming up in 2025 and 2026. So we put it like that because it's the 2026 season. Some of this is going to happen probably in January, possibly January 2026. We don't know. But let's go over. This is just showing you not potential free agents, but free agents on our team and what could happen. There could be a lot of happen that are in terms of guys being moved. So some of these guys might be on the radar to be traded. We'll go over that as well with this. All right, so arbitration. So what is arbitration? So arbitration is the first year, second year, third year where guys, that if they don't have a contract, they go to arbitration and they negotiate, mediate with the league, mediate with somebody, and it decides their contract with the arbitrator as well. So baseball players go through this. This is unique to baseball as well. They look at things. Okay, you had this many home runs, this many RBIs, goes to arbitration. And these numbers go up based on production, based on years of play, et cetera, et cetera. So, number one, Adley Rutschman. If it was me, I wouldn't have Adley Rutschman as a Baltimore Oriole next year. Michael Elias, I don't know if this is a smoke screen. It's so hard to get a read on Michael Elias, but he's going to absolutely get calls on Adley as well. He's going to get a decent number in arbitration, maybe not as much because he didn't have as great a season. But the Giants, the Giants and a lot of other teams have got to be interested in Adley as a trade tool. Definitely, I think his value right now is going to be higher than if you actually play him and sit him or he plays less during the year. So I absolutely would have Adley Rutschman in 2025. So that's you definitely, to me, in 2026, you definitely, to me, have to look at moving Adley Rutschman. Arbitration, also Dean Kramer. I think Dean Kramer returns. I don't think there's any question about it. I don't think they're going to listen to any. I don't think they're going to get a real offer. Dean Kramer is what you need. A middle of the order, back of the order starter. You have Dean Kramer as your third, fourth starter, which he probably figures to be right now. Absolutely no problem with that. Felix Bautista, you're not going to probably have him most of 2026 as well. There's certainly now I have to look for a new closer. There's no question about it. I mean, Bautista has been hurt now a couple years in a row. So definitely you're going to be looking for another closer with that. Tyler Wells, Michael Elias was kind of being coy with the role that he's going to play going forward. I think it's relief. I think he's saying that again to up his value and to see he's kind of playing coy. I don't know if there's a starting spot for him unless they plan on not spending money in free agency, which I don't anticipate. I do believe you're going to sign one starter, but Wells, I think, is there. Bradish, I think you could argue whether he's the number one starter right now in 2028 and 2026, rather. Bradish, I think, is going to be your number one starter at some point, either him or Trevor Rogers. I got no argument with that if you say either one or the other. He's going to be one of your key pieces. Getting him back on the mound and having him look good, I think, was all they were looking for this year. So good for him. Ryan Mountcastle, arbitration as well, third year. I don't know if Mountie stays an Oriole. I don't know what his role is. They kind of don't like Michael actually seems like to keep everybody and just say, "Hey, we'll figure it out." Blah blah blah. But I don't see where you play him. And certainly, if you're going to keep Adley Rutschman, I'm not sure they will, but let's say you would certainly do that. Well, then where does he play? I think Kobe Mayo is going to get every shot to play first base. Kobe Mayo, for what we saw the last few months. Batting average has to improve, but he hit more home runs than Mountcastle did, and he only really played 2 months every day. So I think Kobe Mayo, unless you actually go out and get a Pete Alonso or something like that, I don't think this is a role for him. I just don't think it's a role for him on the team. I think they could trade him, or it'd be interesting to see. Keegan Aiken has arbitration also in 2027. So these guys have arbitration at the highest level. There's 3 years where you have arbitration as well. Trevor Rogers, Keegan Aiken, I think he's probably the one for sure he's going to see in the bullpen next year out of everybody on the roster. I think there's going to be a lot of changes in the bullpen. The one guy who will be there is Keegan Aiken for sure. Trevor Rogers, I think we just talked about it as well. Number one starter, I think, on your team. He should get the opening day start, in my opinion, as well. He got lambasted, I think, in the last start. That was the only start where he was close to bed. I think he just got tired at the end of the year. I'm fine with Trevor Rogers. Was terrific all season as well. Most valuable Oriole voted on the players. We're going to have our own version of that soon. So check that out. Dylan Carlson, as well, 3rd-year arbitration. I think he's back. I think they'll let him fight it out in spring training. I don't know how much value he actually has on the open market. Good defensive player, good at times. I think he's a 4th or 5th outfielder. It's only a matter if they have a spot for him as well. They should pick that up. Who is totally free as far as that goes as well? Gary Sanchez, number 5. I thought Alex Jackson was better than Gary Sanchez was. This is his problem his whole career. Guy with injury issues, plays well at times, looks good at times, but he can't stay healthy. They spent a lot of money. I thought Alex Jackson, was better than he was. So interesting to see what happens. My guess is he goes to another team and gets a backup job there. Somebody picks him up as well. Doubt it. I think you see him in an Oriole uniform next year. Jorge Mateo, number 4 on the list. I actually don't have a lot of Jorge Mateo hate like a lot of people do. I don't think they're going to pick up this 5-year deal, this $5.5 million that he's owed. It's a club option. And again, you never know what Michael Elias again because he likes to keep everybody and just say, I could absolutely see him saying, well, we like Jorge, he's going to fight it out. He's going to. Him and Mounty, I just don't see a spot for him. I just don't see a spot for him. He's a reserve middle infielder. Your infield, I think, now is solidified. So Mayo's there, Holiday's there, Gunner's there, and Westy's there. So I don't think there is. You could say he's a backup, I guess, but I don't know if I'm paying $5.5 million as well, especially when you have all these guys coming up in the minors as well. But yeah, I think most teams would not pick up this option. But you never know with Michael Elias. You never know what he's going to do. I mean, he might do it. Player opt out. Tyler O'Neill, number 3. We just got absolute nothing from O'Neill this year, in my opinion. I don't think he did a thing. A couple good games, I guess, but just this was what we feared. He can't stay healthy. He can't stay healthy. He can't stay on the field. He can't be as productive when he was on the field. He wasn't as productive. I'm sure they're hoping, they're never going to say this, obviously, that he opts out. He's not going to do it because I don't think anybody else is going to give him what he's already getting. His base salary is going to be $16.5 million. He's got a 3-year deal with a player opt out after this season for $49.5 million. I seriously doubt anybody that saw him last year that's going to give him $18, $19 million. He's going to opt out of that or feel a team. So I would think he's going to stay as well. But I would think, I'm sure they're hoping they somehow believes that some other team's going to do it. I don't think so, though. I think definitely Tyler O'Neill will be back in right field for the Orioles because they're going to pay him. They're going to have to pay him that contract. Now, with that said, say something good. He can be a decent enough player when healthy. He's not just. I think the problem is he's just a guy. He's just injury prone. He's a guy who seems to spend a lot of time on the shelf, but. That would be the upside to that. Tomo Sagano. Yes, sir. As advertised, 35 years old, played most of his career in Japan. He was as advertised. I thought he was decent. Not great. Won, I think, the most games. I think he won 10 games last year. It was 10 or 11. I would be surprised if he's back. It wouldn't shock me if they 10-10, 4.64 ERA. I think the number he got was not. They're not going to do that again. I mean, he's got like I think it was 15 million, 12 million, something like that. I don't think they're going to do that again. But I wouldn't shock me if they brought him back or he wanted to come back. I think like he could be a middle of the order, late order start. But like have him as a 4th or 5th starter. That doesn't bother me. I do think another team will sign him. Obviously, with all the Japanese players in the Dodgers, we're all thinking the Dodgers. Padres have a lot, So that's an obvious one. Somebody who needs some late rotation help, I think will definitely take a look at him. Uneven, but okay. I think that's a good way to put it. Zach Eflin, I think, is one. I don't think Zach Eflin will beat the Orioles next year, despite his injury issues. Unlike O'Neill, I do think there's going to be interest in Zach Eflin. I think he's too good when healthy to actually for teams not to take a look at that as well. I don't think he'll get a big contract, but I think he'll get a solid contract for somebody. I could definitely see Tampa going ahead and giving him some money. I could definitely see Atlanta giving him some money. I could definitely see a team like that giving him some money, provided he's healthy enough to go and has a clean bill of health. But I think also too, you look at the rotation. Possibly you're going to have Rogers in the front. You're going to have Bradish in the front. You may be looking at a Dylan Cease. Hopefully, you may be looking at another veteran at the very least. I don't know if you're going to give the kind of money he might get somewhere else to Zach Eflin. Interesting to see. Possibly they see him as a fallback option as well. All right. There you go. Thank God I made it. Thank you very much for joining us here. Ravori Sports Podcast. One more time, definitely subscribe to the Ravori Sports Podcast and Driving to the Top Productions as well. We're definitely going to be doing our instant reaction. Next week, we're going to have our instant reaction after the Bears game. So definitely check that out. Thank you guys all, and you have a great rest of your day.